Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack of Productions. Today I bank our opportunity once again by Jake and Fluff.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, beautiful people?
And today we're kind of going over secret rares. Now we've already touched base on one of them in an earlier video, just because it dropped with other cards, but I don't think we ever touched the Bardock, and we just got a new one released today, or time the video drops, yesterday. So we're kind of just go over the two we haven't really talked about, and then get Jake's opinion on the one we already talked about, because he wasn't with us on that day. That was Jimmy. So we go in order that they were released, starting with Bardock, Origins of the Legend. Ultimate Deflect, Double Strike, Dual Attack, fantastic. It's a yellow secret rare, but here's the kicker. Activate main for 3 energy. If your leader is a Saiyan card and your opponent has 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand and choose it to one of your opponent's cards, switch it to rest mode. Activate main, remove this card from the game, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, KO them. During your opponent's next turn, they can only attack 1 time with battle cards. This card serves 2 purposes. It's just good in any Saiyan deck. It taps any card coming to play, and then it just, if you can't finish the game off, you have a secondary option which limits your opponent's crackbacks, so that way you can go back into another turn afterwards.
This guy doesn't do a lot versus, I'm thinking like Goku and Cooler specifically, but the fact that this is splashable in just about anything that is Saiyan brings it out of the mid territory for me, where this could just be splashed in any color as a kind of generic secret rare that is a sizable dual attack, double strike. I mean, there's nothing not to like about this card.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would really make this card better at this point is barrier. But barring that, Deflect is a pretty excellent source of protection. Double Strike Dual Attack is always good, and at 40k, this thing threatens 4 damage by itself. 3 energy is like a little bit expensive, but overall, I love this card. I think it provides a lot of pressure, and it's very fair for the energy you're spending for it.
And depending on the deck you're playing, you can do this on turn 3 potentially if your opponent went first. And if you're already set up beforehand, you could probably be okay with that because it's just 1 attack from a leader, maybe an attack from a unit, and only 1 battle card attack, and that is it.
Yeah. And this does, it fits minimum ground for me for what a secret rare should be. I think a secret rare at minimum should threaten 4 life, unless the secret rare does something incredible like Baby Hatch, where it basically just turns the opponent's turn off in exchange for having that potential 4 life damage. So I think this secret rare is really good. Like I said, just against those unison decks, it doesn't matter that they can only swing with battle cards once. So this card loses the utility in those matchups, but you still have the sizable card to pair with it.
Going to the next card, this is one we kind of already talked about a little bit, but SSB Kaioken Son Goku United Divinity. Ultimate Deflect Triple Attack. For each card in your opponent's energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3, making it a 2-cost card initially. Permanent, you can't place card on top of this card. Auto, if your opponent has 4 or more energy, when this card is played, switch all of your mono blue energy to active mode. Me and Fluff kind of talked about this already with Jimmy, that combine this with SS4 Vegeta or any other deck that can get the energy you need. Play this and just continue your turn afterwards. It's fantastic. So if you combine it with the 6-drop Vegeta on play, which gives you 4 more energy, potentially giving you a 10 energy turn, which is amazing. And this is the quote-unquote Easter egg card and a secret rare for set 1. But it is one of the 3 4 Zenkai Legends. Jake, what's your opinion on this card?
So, I think Blue for a long time has needed an offensive secret rare option. Most of Blue's cards in general are better on your opponent's turn than they are on your turn. And it's really nice that they designed like a top end as far as power level goes for a blue deck that can even be played in a more like aggressive style list where even if you have to spend multiple energy on this, they're all just going to come right back anyway. So it just ends up resulting in an overall pretty aggressive card. I like that they didn't go overboard, kind of like they did with Bardock, and put barrier on this thing. I think that would like push more. But now blue players at least have a choice when they're building their deck, and they don't have to automatically include Baby Hatch.
I think the only other blue secret I've seen played is when occasionally Fluff will play SS4, and he will instead throw in Goku and Oob, just because if you get on a board, it rips life and an energy on just swing alone. That's twice it can swing with, which is pretty cool.
This secret rare, to me, honestly, just kind of almost auto replaces the Goku Oob.
Oh yeah,
in my eyes. Like, this card is just incredible.
yeah. Like Jake said, we talked about it. This creates an option for you. Do you want to play defensive deck, or do you want that big in turn and potentially go for a game? And going to the next secret rare, this one's very intriguing because it changes the idea of a keyword skill we all become very familiar with. The secret rare, of course, is SS4 Vegeta, a light in the dark. This is a red secret rare, ultimate deflect, overwhelm 6. We've always associated overwhelm being a black card keyword skill. In this case, though, your leader is mono red Saiyan. So, only play this in red decks, only play this with as long as your leader is a Saiyan as well. But if you have 4 more mono red energy, when this card is played, your opponent reveals their hand. You choose up to 1 battle card with 35,000 power or less from it, and your opponent discards it. Then choose up to 1 of your mono red leaders, and until the start of your next turn, he gets plus 10,000 power, and this card gains quad strike. So initially, it's a free card coming to play. It's going to hit the board. It's going to swing. If your opponent can't negate, that is potentially 4 damage, because you can still combo on top of this card as well. And truth be told, putting this in the new Goku and Vegeta deck, if they essentially Z-Awaken have already established the Gogeta, and this is a free play on top of that.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Very strong. Yeah.
Overall, I think this is the secret rare I like the least this set, and I think that goes a long way in saying that this is the card that I like the least. Again, no barrier, which isn't really common on secret rares anyway, but one thing we were talking about, like in the text group off camera, is that this card really only has to be like switched to rest mode or have its attack negated to pretty much almost be completely destroyed, since at the end of the turn with Overwhelm, it's going to get warped anyway. I think this also adheres to Fluff's rule earlier, where it threatens at least 4 life, and arguably it threatens 5 life by increasing the size of your leader card. And in certain red decks, that's actually quite huge, like the Gogeta that natively has double strike. So I think this card will ultimately be better than the credit I'm giving it right now, but right now, just looking at it, it's my least favorite of the 3.
To me, it really boils down to, right now we have SS Blue Vegeta, that's kind of the red secret rare. Otherwise, people are running like Pan or Kai of Time in their red lists. And the question really boils down to, does this card beat out those cards or act as a suitable replacement to those cards? And I don't have the answer to that. My gut tells me that it doesn't. Just because the point that you made, where because this guy is Overwhelm, you're only getting 1 swing out of him maximum. Your opponent is likely going to negate it if they have a negate, and then you just lose your tempo. So I don't know that, like, I'm not hating on the card. I actually really like the card. It's a free quad strike. Like, it's really good. You get to peek the hand just to see what's going on. It doesn't cost you any energy investment. This could be a great way to close out games after pushing if your opponent's still on like 3 life and you've got them down to like 4 cards in hand.
Yeah.
This could be a great way to close the game out.
Especially if they're planning on negating with a battle card. Another just immediate observation I'm having is that you can't play this in U7 as a replacement for that Vegeta, because U7 can't actually warp battle cards from its drop area. Yeah. So this secret rare cannot be a replacement in that deck. Yeah. And if that deck continues to be one of the premier aggro decks, then this card gets further and further relegated to things like the Fusion Gogeta list, or like maybe Pan. Well, the new Pan list will see some experimentation with this card.
Yeah. I really just see this one being the highlight for the new, fitting the best in the new Gogeta deck, because if you do the whole chain, play the big Vegeta boy, use the Awaken, you just applied the pressure with the battle card first. You applied the pressure with the leader. Hopefully by that point you got them pretty low. They've had to exhaust potential resources just to avoid the leader strike. And then you can just drop this bad boy afterwards, and that might just be a GG. But like you said, if it's negated, at least you get to peek the hand. It's a crown, kind of, without having to pay energy for it, and your opponent doesn't matter what their energy's at. But it does give you a nice defensive backing as well, though. But outside that, I do agree. Of the three, this is probably 3. But overall, I think all these secret rares are fantastic, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you put this secret rare in another set, and it goes from being the least playable to the most playable. Like, just all of the secret rares this set are really good. So it doesn't matter which one you pull, or if you hit one, you're probably going to be happy with it no matter which one it is.
Yeah, I was telling Fluff earlier, and when we open our case, like, all 3 of these I would be happy to pull. Obviously, I think we were talking about it. We would rather get the Bardock or the Goku, but if we pull Vegeta, to me, it's still pretty good. Closing out real quick, before we go any further, I just want to put my hat into the pot. What's that phrase called?
Put your
Something.
Salt in the pot. Yeah,
it's something like that. I believe the God Rare will still be, even though it's a set 1 secret rare, I think it will still be SSB Kaioken. There's a reason why they want to do a throwback, and it can't just be because it didn't have a secret rare.
I'm hoping that Bardock ends up being the God Rare. I think the art on the regular secret rare version is really good, and there's a lot of potential for the God Rare art of this card to be just phenomenal.
Oh no! It could be that he could be a Super Saiyan because it's the origins of the legend. He technically was the first Super Saiyan. Oh
yeah,
no!
that would be a sick God Rare.
I'm going with Goku as the God Rare because we already have a Vegeta God Rare. It only makes sense the next one is an SSB Goku. So
that does make a lot of sense.
That's what I'm going with. And also, Bancroft, you'll be interested to know that the Bardock has the breaking edges on it as well.
Yeah, they all do.
The Goku doesn't.
The only reason why Goku doesn't because. So before we end the video again, this really threw me off. I actually never noticed the secrets having a broken edge to them until this one dropped. For some reason, I don't know why. I feel like there's so much clutter on normal secret rares nowadays where you can't see it as much. And so I was looking into it. They start doing the breaking edge on secret rares in set 8. Any secret rare from 7 and under did not have the breaking edge, which makes sense why the set 1 doesn't have the breaking edge to make it fit more to the theme of what the cards were prior. That's my thought, but
just so it's more in line artistically. That's a good observation.
And with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below. Click them; they're there for a reason. Fluff, would you lead us out?
Of course. Everyone, let us know what your favorite of the 3 secret rares is this format. Which one are you hoping to pull? Which one's your favorite? Any particular spice that you want to share with the world? As always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to, and fluff out.